It's the NFL on EA Sports. And the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Dolphins and the Hawks, and it's coming up next.
With Mount Rainier in the distance, there are few cities finer on a clear afternoon than this one, and we have a picture-perfect day for football at Lumen Field in Seattle. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. It's an early test here after 2 losses to start the season, and a game they probably really need.
Obviously, no way do they want to get to 0-3. Not many teams make the play of a start.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Dolphins, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column. Something's
got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a...
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. Under center, it'll be the Southern California native standing at 6'4", Sam Darnold.
And I saw that he had an interesting quote in the research packet that we had after last week's game. It's all on me now. I've got to lead my team and find a way for us to win a game. 0-2, but they're at home. I guess he's going to try and find a way to get the home crowd involved early.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Man coverage to start the game, and I expect we'll see a good amount of that. They trust their secondary to hold down the fort and let their pass rushers get home. And that's a good job right on play 1.
Now, a quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete. Pretty good coverage there from Jordan Brooks. So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. You talk about this Miami defense. They've been very good this year against the pass, currently holding on to a top 10 ranking at number 10.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. Well, the Dolphins head out, led by the NFL's leading passer in 2023, now in his 5th season, Tua Tagovailoa.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Dolphin 1st down.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer. Handing the ball, he might want to get out of the way.
Hill going to go in motion right. Play action. Now it's Tua. They'll swing this out wide. Here's Achane. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be 2nd down. On play action, here's Tua. And that'll be incomplete. We have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So he gets too far beyond the line, and that's an easy call for the official. A run straight ahead with Achane. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. They fake the handoff. Now Tua. And going deep for Hill. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Getting in there and knocking that pass down was Ernest Jones.
Offenses all over continue to be aggressive, and most people never turn down a shot at a deep ball. But oftentimes, it attracts a little bit of extra attention. And it did on that play, and that one got knocked away.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically, what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Darnold now to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. It'll go as a gain of 4. And now it's 3rd and 3. Now Darnold. Setting up the screen here. And I think the ball's out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. Well, obviously you never want to fumble, but if you do, good to be towards the sideline. It saves them the possession.
Saves the embarrassment, saves it going down on the play sheet as a turnover. But I still think it should go to the defense, even if they don't recover it. If you give up the football, you gave up the football.
Agree to disagree, I guess.
Can you tell what I played?
Yeah, you played defense. Yeah. I'll let you go.
I took a shot.
So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10. They're going right back to Walker. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. You talk about this Miami defense. They've been very good this year against the pass, currently holding on to a top 10 ranking at number 10.
You have to like the way that they played in the first month. They have to be very proud being a top.
Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down. Jalen Phillips, the former first-rounder, getting in there for the sack. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Back to throw, Darnold. Under pressure, they got him again. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Oh, what a juke into space. It's a 45-yard punt, then 8 on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. So Miami coming out for their second drive. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawks defense. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now?
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
Up the middle, Achane. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. Quick throw caught out wide by Valdez-Scantling. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
From the gun on 3rd down, here's Darnold. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a 1st down.
And that's why defensive coaches preach swarming to the football. It's usually going to take more than one guy to get that big man down.
And it did right there. Multiple broken tackles, but they eventually get him down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A gear for Walker running right. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 48-yard line. Connection made on the out route to Valdez-Scantling. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. Here's a 2nd and 5. Up the middle, here's Walker. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. To throw is Darnold. He's got his target. That's complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. They chalk that one up as a gain of 34 on 3rd down.
When teams practice their plays during the week, they're hoping that it's going to pay off on game day. So it sure has to feel good for them when they hit them during a game, and they hit that one there for big yardage.
We're scoreless after 1. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Slot man moves right. Here's Darnold. Now that'll be caught by Kupp. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
That'll put him at an even 50 receiving yards now in this first half. And it's a 1st down. Walker. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, I know a defensive coordinator is going to be pretty excited by what he just saw there. Great knockback by their front. And now with the ball where it is, I would expect to see the offense throw the ball on 2nd and 3rd down here.
After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
They'll try and run Walker. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Ken Walker, his second rushing touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks post the first points of the ballgame as they take the lead here in this second quarter. So the second down run didn't work. They run it again on third down and get in. I wasn't sure if they might pass it, Charles. We know that they like to mix it up down here around the goal line.
Yeah, almost felt like the offensive line said, forget mixing it up. Let's call our favorite running play over our best blockers, and let's get this one in.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And that makes the score 7-0. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Dolphins offense returning to the field. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a first down. Tua going to throw. He'll dump this off to Achane. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it's second down.
Well, they'll use him a lot out of the backfield. He had 5 catches a week ago, and he makes another catch here for good yardage.
Off of play action, Tagovailoa. Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
That's out to Hill, right side complete. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. The Dolphins at 1-1 through 2 games thus far. Charles, they were losers last time out. What do you think they need to do differently here?
Well, I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude has to be what's done is done. Let's move on. Put that one behind them, galvanize themselves, and go forward and get a win.
That's caught inside the 20. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. That one goes for 30 yards. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Hill going to go in motion right. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. This is caught. And the Dolphins are looking at first and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago. Followed it up with another nice one here. And before you know it, they're already looking at first and goal.
Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Tyreek Hill, his second touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from drawing out well.
Anytime you can make them think that you're going to run the ball and go to that play-action pass, you see the end result, usually a touchdown.
Is that harder? Is the play fake harder to defend for the defense near the goal line or no? Because there's not as much room to work with?
It is harder because down near the goal line, you're thinking much more of a running play, especially if people run out big formations, so it is harder to defend.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Well, the ball now going back over the Seattle Seahawks offense.
Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, why
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so. Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
Darnold. Throw out wide to Walker.
That'll go for a gain of 7.
And they're going to have a third down. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Now it's Darnold. Looking right side, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ashton Davis. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. They were in the dime. They had 6 defensive backs there, so go ahead and throw it. He threw it, and it hurt him.
It's almost thrown into a blanket of coverage, isn't it? You talk about the best defenders you have are the defensive backs. 6 of them on the field. You're almost asking for trouble, and that's exactly what they ran into. Ended up throwing a pick 6.
Yeah, 6 defenders and 6 points. Sanders now to add the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Seattle again getting ready to take over offensively. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
Got it here at the 29 on 2nd and 8. Faking the give, Darnold rolling to his right. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks. And Charles, you look at this offense, their struggles moving the ball well documented. Dead last in the NFL in first downs, but signs of life there.
Yeah, and you and I do, I think, a really good job of respecting the game and respecting the teams. But this squad, they're in a position now where their fan base gets excited when they pick up a first down. They cheer almost like they picked up a touchdown.
Bradley Chubb came in and got him. They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. A shotgun snap for Darnold. Open man right side is Kupp, complete. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Jalen Phillips. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. So now here come the Dolphins. They're starting to pull away with this one. Early on that first quarter, they didn't look so great offensively. What has changed?
Sometimes it's just a matter of doing what you plan to do better. Sometimes you just put that all together and you execute. Other times, it's just in a simple adjustment in your game plan, finding a spot that maybe was a little weaker than maybe you thought, and going to that. So many different things, so many different ways, but right now, you got to like what they're doing. They have put distance between themselves and their opponent.
Looking to add on here in the second quarter. Forced out to his left. 4 yards there as they let him out of the pocket, and he got enough for the first.
Well, here's your first example of how this guy can beat you in more ways than one, because they took away his arm, but he was more than happy to dissect them with his legs for that first down pickup.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, it was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
That one complete to Hill. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Now Tua. He'll get it once more into the hands of Hill. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be second down. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Looking to pass. Tua. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41.
Good work on the scamper by Tagovailoa. It's a first down.
Now a timeout called for by the offense, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And he gets it down to the 32. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Throwing now is Tagovailoa. That's going to be caught. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown of the new season.
And the Dolphins will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. CD for them, this has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the second. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And it's now 21-7. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Well, now how about this return?
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. And the Seahawks offense going to get one final possession in this first half.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
That is incomplete.
Trying to get something positive to happen here before the break, and they sure need it. They went for the big one, but it winds up incomplete.
Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he'll just keep two hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando, standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. And welcome in everybody to our EA Sports halftime report. Time for a look around the NFL here in week 3 of the new year. We'll begin our tour out at Nissan Stadium in Nashville, where it was the visiting Packers who were able to come in and win this one on the road. Josh Jacobs, well over 100 yards rushing with a touchdown run as well. From there, we'll head up to Indy to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And they were winners in that one as they take care of the visiting Chicago Bears. Anthony Richardson leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's get to Pittsburgh to check on the Steelers at home in Acrisure Stadium. And they were winners in that one over the visiting LA Chargers. Aaron Rodgers, 3 touchdown passes as his guys stay unbeaten on the year. The highlights are fairly one-sided to this point. It's a 2-touchdown difference here at the break. But I wouldn't call this one over just yet. I think there could still be some fireworks yet to come.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started.
And able to get this out to the 25.
So now the Dolphins set to take over on offense. They're trying to get back on track following the loss to Buffalo a week ago. But the good news, they've got the lead right now here in the football 1st and 10. Tua sets up to pass it.
Open man, Westbrook-Ikine.
The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long. Here's Tua.
Open man is Waddle, complete.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Back to throw here.
Out route, and it's complete to Brown. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Out of the gun, here's a give to Achane.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Achane on the counter.
And the result here, the same as the last play. Another tackle behind the line of scrimmage by this Seahawk defense. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down. They'll drop to throw.
Throw caught by Achane. Finding space at the 40.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down.
And that's complete to Westbrook-Ikine.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. In motion, Hill. Oh, the motion comes too late. And this is going to be a delay.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
Still a few inches short of a 1st down as they come up now on 2nd down.
Back to the ground, Achane.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. Now back to throw.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
They converted twice on third down that drive already, but couldn't make it a third. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Yeah, we will get another look at Seattle's offense. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
Darnold now to throw.
And that one complete downfield to Kupp. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
Boy, he ran free there after the catch as that winds up going for 38.
That's the kind of play this offense desperately needed. They've got to be saying, our defense has kept us in the ball game. We're down, but we're certainly not out. And maybe that was the spark that they've been searching for.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 39-yard line. And they'll send the tight end in motion. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, as my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
Here's Walker, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. To throw is Darnold.
The throw out wide going to be incomplete.
Boy, that was lockdown coverage there. He's scanning for someone to come open. But that was great work to blanket everyone. And in the end, he's just got to throw it away.
Now Darnold on 3rd and goal. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. So now 4th and goal. You're trailing by a decent amount here. What are you doing, Coach Davis?
Well, I've got to think to myself, just how many more opportunities am I going to have this close and have this chance? I've got to go for it right here. The clock's dwindling on me. Let's go get it done.
So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps him inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. The third quarter has not been kind to them. After they built that lead at intermission, they've seen that lead shrink.
And how much of that is simply execution? How much of that is maybe you lose your edge a little bit because you've got a lead? And you do have to credit the other team some because they've made some adjustments to start to slow them down. Can they find those counters now, those extra plays or plays they haven't run that'll be effective and get them back moving again?
They'll be looking for something here, anything to seize that momentum back.
Over the middle and complete to Waddle. And Waddle going to have a Dolphins 1st down as he'll get this up past the 35-yard line.
They'll run. This is Hill.
And this is not going to work as planned. It'll be blown up behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15.
In motion is Westbrook Akina. Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here.
And takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. Going to the air, Tagovailoa.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have the Dolphins 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Tua going to throw.
Well, the pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
Like how they've started the 3rd quarter here. They force a punt on the 1st drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their 2nd win coming out of the locker room.
Achane gets it from the gun.
Ooh, with a juke. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. They'll try to get it on the ground with Madison. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
When you're lateral to the line of scrimmage, linebackers keep those shoulders square so they can go up and down. But when it's time to go, turn your shoulders just like a running back. Get through the line and hit the runner in the backfield.
Here's Ryan Stonehouse now,
as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Off of play action, Darnold
finding space at the 40.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
It's another 1st down as this time they get an even 20.
Couple of 1st downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. A play fake, and it's Darnold.
Well, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked up by Afitu Melifonwu. And the Dolphins are right back in this football game.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Play action. It's Darnold.
Smith and Jigba with a grab. And the Seahawks are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Motion left, Kupp. He's going to handle it on the touch pass. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away.
It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal. Back to throw, Darnold. Toward the pylon, caught. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds.
3rd and goal, and keep in mind, very possibly 4-down territory. Straight ahead, Walker.
And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown.
Kenneth Walker.
His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year.
And the Seahawks have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th.
Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating.
And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is.
Well, they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Dolphins offense and Tua Tagovailoa headed back out onto the field. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time.
They fake the handoff. Now Tua.
A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
And when you're in a one-score game in the second half, now's not the time to force the football in the places where you shouldn't. And that's a smart decision to just get that one out of there.
They'll give this to a chance. And he'll get a couple up to the 29.
And this is the worry, because sometimes you can get a little too predictable in spots like this. You know you're going to run the ball, but they know you're going to run the ball as well. And now you look up and you're staring at an important 3rd down.
And the Seahawks defense gets to him and they bring him down. DeMarcus Lawrence drops him for a loss of 12, and it also brings up 4th down.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Here's Ryan Stonehouse now.
As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Taken from just outside the 30. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. As Seattle now ready to march onto the field.
Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry. And they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. 5 yards on 1st down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd.
This now a 3rd and 4.
Darnold.
Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Ashton Davis.
And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his 2nd interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
The Dolphins about set to go to work on offense. Another important 4th quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage.
In motion, the tight end. After the turnover, it's Tua. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out.
22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, 4th quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. sacked back at the 31. DeMarcus Lawrence able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Looking to pass. Tua. That's going to be caught by Waddle. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive, not much sense. On play action, here's Tua, steps away.
And Tua going to slide to a halt, but he will have the 1st down.
And they get 10 yards there and convert on 3rd. So there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the 1st.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time.
He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Tyreek Hill with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Dolphins look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. We talk so often about how hard it is to win in the NFL when you turn the ball over, and here a late turnover leads to a 4th quarter touchdown. And we remember, of course, all scoring plays need to be verified upstairs, and I think they're going to at least take a look at this. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Seahawks offense has Sam Darnold headed back out there. And it's been a struggle for him all afternoon. This defense has really done a nice job of making him earn everything he gets, and it's prevented him from getting into any kind of rhythm here today. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Well, that last touchdown we just saw, what an important one. Now it's back to a 2-score deficit for this crew as they take the field here, and they are in desperate need of finding the end zone.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Now it's Darnold. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Bradley Chubb doing what he does best, getting that sack.
I remember throughout my career hearing defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed.
So here's a 3rd and 14.
Here's Darnold.
Setting up the screen here. This is Walker.
And he's not going to sniff the 1st down here. He stopped at the 25. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down. 4th down, and for Darnold, it's desperation time. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Seahawks go for it but can't convert. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Here's Tagovailoa to throw. That one complete to Hill. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Ball at the 6 here as they work with a 2nd and 2. In motion is Westbrook-Akina. A give left side. Here's Achane.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well.
Getting in there and knocking that pass down was Ernest Jones.
He came through well with a nice pass breakup there. Fortunate that he was on the spot. He's the only guy left to prevent the first down.
The kick by Sanders is good.
So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
And out now come the Seahawks. And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. We'll see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game, and sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
Now a 2nd and 6.
Now Darnold. Flush to his... And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down.
3rd and 19.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Here's Darnold.
This one goes underneath to Walker.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. Darnold now to throw. Flushed out.
And he is going to be taken down. They got him. As that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning.
So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. He'll look to throw. And Walker has it. And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the 1st.
Well, the defense circling now, 4th down and 7.
And it's going to be batted down, and we'll go the other way with the football. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Dolphins' defense is able to hold. The Dolphins' offense now ready to go back out onto the field. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the 4th quarter. The defense does have all 3 timeouts, but at this point, doesn't look like it's going to matter much. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining.
Five points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down.
Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Now a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle.
Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll get it with still 1:20 left to go in the game.
Still needing 10 yards. Now it's third down.
Now Tua. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. So Sam Darnold in the offense. Down by 15. A minute 12 to go. And they're in danger of a third straight loss as they come up on 1st and 10.
Here's Darnold. Complete. Valdez-Scantling.
A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
Here's 2nd and a yard.
Over the middle, complete. It's Walker. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line.
Now Darnold. Repeated the last play, finding Walker. And not a whole lot there, maybe 3 yards on first down. Darnold to throw.
And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And we talk so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Air-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince your team that what you're saying is accurate. And you know what I'm talking about. Head coach always stands up in front of the team and says, guys, if we do this, this, and this, we'll win. And usually they say if we win the turnover battle, we'll win. Well, here's the proof right there. Win the turnover battle. Go on to victory. Now the guys believe. You move on to the next lesson where you have to convince them. This one is now planted.
So for Miami, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel up to Detroit to take on the Lions. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.